Hello, this is Teresa, Crafty Grams. Welcome to the Craft Lair. Today, um, it looks like a mass make, but it's not really, since it's not technically March anymore. These are bits and pieces, journal cards and tags, and a couple of large tickets that I cut from cardstock that that I have for some reason in colors that I don't really use in my journals. So what I did was I coffee dyed them and spritzed them with some distress ink, and excuse me, and I dried them in the hopes that that would, excuse me, in the hopes that that would tone them down enough to be, you know, more of my vintage color palette. Not really pleased with that either. So what we're going to do today is plan B. We're going to take scraps and make uh, collages on them. Like, you know how you do a masterboard and then cut it up into tags and journal cards and all the bits and pieces? Well, we're doing it sort of in the opposite order. We're taking tags and then collaging them with bits and pieces of paper and book page and all that. I'm just, as I'm talking, I'm trying to get them sorted into size. I don't even know why, but it's the way my brain works. So yeah, we're going to take some scraps and my favorite tiny book pages. Where are they? And then we're just going to sort of collage them onto these bases. Right? Right. So I have a couple of different I chose these, I'm using these book pages because they're very fragile. They're not good for, you can't bend them. They crack and crumble easily. As you can see, there's crumbs falling off of that as we speak. But they are very good for um, gluing down to things. So that's what we're going to do. Let's get started. So this is going to be sort of my next start to finish project. I'm just going to take papers and start sticking. And obviously, I don't want to just use one piece of paper to cover the whole the whole thing. So I'm going to be ripping and gluing. Uh, so just any kind of order doesn't matter. Um, just covering up the pinks. And I'm not really sure why I have these pastel colors hanging around, but I'm sure it was for something, like a specific project that I'm finished with, or, you know, whatever. But I have a whole pack of them. Oh, and what we're going to be using to glue them down is a Mod Podge multi. It's you know, it's a glue and it's also a you know, sealer kind of thing, whatever. Yeah. So, oh yeah, all in one, glue, sealer, and finish. So super duper cheap. I wish I had found this before I found any other kind of glue, because this big bottle was less than $4. I mean, come on now. So I have my favorite vessel to put it in. Love that brand of yogurt. Um, and just a big paintbrush, big paintbrush, because I don't have a whole lot of paintbrushes. I either have really tiny paintbrushes or this one. So we're using this one. So oh, I guess I should be putting this on the paper. Just, you know, generously slather the tag, probably too generous. Stick the paper down, and I'm not going to be real particular about the size of it yet. I'm just going to get stuff glued down there and you know, cut it to size and shape later. And these will be good for, a base for any kind of decoration, which we may do later. Um, so yeah, there's no way to do this wrong. Um, so we're just gonna tear and glue and maybe chat a little bit. So what's been going on with you? Nothing much here. I had an impromptu ice cream party at my house last night, late at night, which, needless to say, I was up suffering with the indigestion it gave me. But, hey, my youngest daughter and her husband and son came over. That's the 2-year old son. And then my oldest son, or the 2-year old grandson, and then my oldest son and his girlfriend came over. Um, and of course, my son is the worst best uncle ever. He's like, so you want some ice cream? Talking to my grandson, you want some ice cream? It's like 8:30 at night, so super close to the baby's bedtime. And of course, he says yes. And so they did a Dairy Queen run. So here we are, 9:30, eating ice cream. And boy, howdy, that kicked in. And I was thinking, whew, I'm so glad it is not me trying to put that kid to bed. But yeah. So, and my daughter kept saying, oh, you're staying with Uncle Fuss tonight. You're staying with Uncle Fuss. That's his nickname, Fuss, my son. So you're staying with Uncle Fuss tonight. My son's like, no, that's why I bought him the ice cream, because he's not coming to my house. Oh, yes, you can be the very indulgent uncle when you don't have the kid, obviously. So the only thing is that if he ever does have a child, he better be prepared for payback from the siblings, because you know, they're keeping track of all the things that he does that their kids love, but they as parents are not real fond of. So yeah, I should not have participated, but I'm sorry. When there's a blizzard on offer, I'm taking. Yep, I'm going for that. So yeah, that happened, and I paid for it with the indigestion last night. But that is okay. I will suffer. It's not like I had to get up and go to work or anything. So yeah. So yeah. I love that my kids are all, well, 3 out of 4 are very close by, and these kinds of random encounters can happen. Um, it just, as a parent, it makes my heart sing. They get along with each other. They're highly involved in the grandkids' lives, and yeah, it's living the dream as far as I'm concerned. Living the dream. Oops, I just got that on the outside of my jar, but you know what? That's okay too. It all washes off. Yeah. So, so yeah. I'm saying when I get finished with all my other bits and pieces of glue, not to change the subject or anything, but I just changed the subject. Um, when I get done with all my bits and pieces of other kinds of glue, this will be what I use going forward because it is so cheap and it does everything I need it to do. You know, I don't have to have a bunch of different kinds of glue. I will just have this one and use it, and that will be that. Yeah, these pieces are getting a little bit silly small, but yeah, whatever. You know, like on this one, I can cut it down into two pieces if I want, or whatever. And yeah, but you know, the purpose in making them this size is so that they will be very good size journal cards. So yeah, we're just gonna craft and chat. Uh-oh, I got hair in there. Mine, the cats, the dogs, no telling. Could be possibly, quite possibly from the brush, but I hope not. I really, really hope not. So, so. Yeah, I'm not supposed to be being picky or particular about what I'm using on these, but, you know, I just can't do it. It's just so very obviously against my nature to actually be random. I mean, I try. I do try. Don't always succeed. Most of the time, I don't succeed. But you know what? It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, I did not anticipate or pre-plan where I'm going to put these once I got them all soaky with glue. So come over here with me to my messy station. I'm not bringing y'all really, just I'm talking. I'm still talking. Still talking over here. And I have some, I don't know, some paper of some sort, some parchment paper. I'm going to lay them out on that to dry. But my parchment paper is very, it's very curly, I guess. So I'm having to hold it down. I got my spare paper cutter over there, and I am holding it down with that. Right. So, oopsie. And I just pulled it right out from under the thing I had weighing it down. But you know what? That's how I roll. Obviously, that is how I roll. I have no idea how much of this is actually in frame, but you know, I should have called myself the awkward crafter because that's just what I am. Very awkward and, yeah. Let's see, this Booger Bear's curling up already because I slathered it with glue. The glue. Oopsie. I especially want to cover up this bright pink. It did not unbrighten very much in the tea bath. But I mean, to be fair, I didn't give it a full soaking tea bath or coffee bath. I just sort of I sprayed it. I used my spray bottle of instant coffee that I keep in here and put it in the tub that I use for actual coffee dyeing and gave it a good spray. But anyway, it did not work as planned. They didn't get very coffee-y at all. Trying to keep them neutral because, you know, if I'm going to use them in a specific colorway or style of journal, I want them to be able to be just plugged in. Right? Nothing too specific going on these. Nothing too specific. And then whatever is there that's, you know, like this yellow, I mean, that can be easily incorporated or covered by whatever specific decorations I might use. So where's the rest of that larger book page I tore? Who knows? Oh, whoop, there it is. Whoop, whoop, I found it. I found it, I found it, I found it. Well, that one's not straight, but you know, it's a junk using junk. So, yeah, it's fine. It is absolutely fine, she tells herself. That's interesting. What is this dictionary page with some kind of an overlay on it? Yeah, that's a printable. It's not nothing I did. Let's just get that straight. Nothing I did. I'm not that, not that clever. All right. Ugh. Time to get the fingers gluey. I mean, if you're not wearing the glue, are you really doing it right? Okay, let's move this one over here to the drying station. I probably didn't need to put that wax paper down or whatever it's called because I do have a plastic covering on it, but you know, better safe than sorry. So I'm going to start this one with this. Because I like it. Stop. Behave yourself. All of y'all. Just all of y'all behave. It's like trying to deal with my children. Yeah, that's 2 pages. These very, very old papers are very, very fragile. Right? I mean, if you know, you know. If you don't, you had a rough childhood. Ugh. It came apart. It was trying to fall apart. Oh, great. Now that's got that song. Falling apart. You know, every now and then I fall apart. Not going to sing. Not going to get dinged by the tube for copyright caca. But, you know, yeah. That's the one. So it is stuck there. Good and properly stuck there now. Guess it's better than the one I had stuck in my head last night. I had a Christmas song cruising around my brain. I'm like, what the heck, man? That had not even been one of the topics of conversation last night, and I don't know where that, but there it was. And I don't know how to get songs unstuck from my brain. So it was quite annoying between that and the ice cream repeating on me. I was not sleeping. Let's just put it that way. Let's just put it that way. So sorry, I bumped the table. That doesn't mean I bumped y'all, because yeah, you're not attached to the table anymore, which is, a good thing. I'm gonna cover up. I'm trying to, when I do these, I'm seeing which side is going to be best to journal on or whatever. I mean, do people really journal on these tiny tags and stuff? But I like that side better, so I'm going to cover up this side. And that's just all there is to that. I might actually just do that. Because why not? Because why not? I'm a grown up and I can. Oops. this The outside of this glue pot is going to be just as gluey as the inside. I'm just not very careful. Like I said, I should be the awkward crafter because I am quite good at that, being awkward. Oh, come on now, because you have to give it time to dry before you start manipulating it. But I didn't want to. I wanted to keep that piece of this paper, and I don't even know why. Not like I don't have more of it somewhere. I'm sure I have more of it. But over to the and once these get a little bit more dry, I will put them under, once I'm sure they're not going to stick to something, I'm going to put them under a, heavy object to uncurl them or keep them from curling or what the heck ever. You know how it is. You know. Okay. I wish I knew. Well, I'm kind of glad I don't know what these Hebrew pages say, because I keep saying I would feel very bad if they were some sort of a prayer book and someone felt like I was defacing them. But I mean, it is literally falling apart. And in a way, I'm giving it another life. Right? Right. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Which, may or may not be good enough for someone who's offended at it. So, what's new and exciting in y'all's life? Anything fun? I hope you're getting some crafting time. It's not too hot, or I don't know. I think we're looking at a hurricane or some kind of storm brewing again. I don't know. I don't pay much attention to news or weather until it's imminent. You know, if there's going to be weather tonight, for instance, then I will pay attention to what's going on. I will get alerts on my phone, and that will grab my attention. Indeed, it will. Indeed, it will. So I'm just reaching over here for some more different kind of book page, because lordy, lordy, do I have a lot of book page. It's just, what happens when you make altered books. You tear those pages out, so then you have a lot of book page hanging around. All different shades of paper and all different font styles and all kinds of fun stuff. Nope, I just flung that. I fling glue. Fling glue. Good band name. I I didn't get enough sleep last night. It's the only excuse I have. Well, that, and I actually have the mindset of a 12-year-old still, It's, yeah. Flinging glue. I don't want to turn that over, so let's just bring in another one. There's plenty where that came from. Plenty. Yeah, and some of the, very strange, but some of the color from the other pages transferred onto, it's beats all I ever seen. That's all I know. Well, that's a piece of chipboard or cardboard or board of some sort. Doesn't need to be here, is the point. Does not need to be in with these scraps. And it seems to me that a little of this stuff goes a long way. So I'm really thinking this stuff has the economical advantage all the way around to most of the other groups, craft specific glues. And now I see why people who do this stuff, I watch people do decoupage and stuff in there. I'm like, how are they using so much glue? That must be so expensive. Well, they're using this stuff. Obviously, that's why they can do it like that. Because this stuff doesn't really cost that much. It's a heck of a lot cheaper than art glitter glue or any, like I said, any of the specific stuff that we use, even the Barely Arts. I mean, yeah, I'm not advertising for them intentionally, but this is a pretty good deal, I'm thinking. I'm feeling like this might be a pretty good deal. Here I am being indecisive again and faffing around with colors and sizes and shapes like I should not be doing. That is coffee beans. I love coffee. Okay. I think I'm just going to leave those other bits peeking through there. Uh-uh. Please don't do that. Please don't lift up. Please don't lift up. Okay, I'm going to get my steps in today just by walking back and forth to this other table. It's okay. It's fine. It is just fine. We'll do a couple more and then call it a day. So this has been just a really boring and uneventful video. But, you know, sometimes you just need chill. That's what this is. Chill. Craft and chill. Uh-oh. There we go. There we go. Stay in there. I guess that might be a downside to this, is that it seems to no wiggle room. No wiggle room with this stuff. So yeah. But that might just be me, and the fact that I have a fan blowing on it, that could definitely have something to do with it. Because it is, shocker, I know you'll be shocked to learn that it is hot here in Georgia, where I reside. Tis hot. Okay. Okay, there's that. Oh, that's some really bright yellow. What would I ever do with that? Why do I even have that? This is lovely. Linen textured cardstock. It's not being very cooperative with the tearing. It's trying to get away. It is trying to get away. There's no escape. I will find you. I mean, since you can't actually run away, paper, I will find you. You will conform to my will. Okay, that's enough of me today. Goodness gracious. You know you're too much when you get on your own nerves. Go. Stay down. All right. What next? What's something else? Well, I'm not making a very good job of using up these scraps. I just seem to be making more. Making more smaller scraps. But that's okay. The very smallest scraps go to recycle, and I will not be hoarding the tiny pieces of paper anymore. That was a rule I made for myself a year or so ago, and with the help of Joey from Joey DeFee, I have a system to determine which scraps are too small. I have a video on it somewhere in the past. I have my scraps divided into 3 sizes. Well, 4 sizes really, because I have those long 12 by 12 strips that are, you know, those are scraps. But aside from those and anything that is book page, I have divided into 3 size categories, and that is how I have continued this little rule for myself. And when those 3 containers, these boxes that I made over here, when they get full, it is time to purge the scraps. This is the middle size scrap box. These actually need to go in the big size scrap box. Middle size scrap box. Anything that fits in here stays in here. And this is the smaller size scrap box. Anything that's smaller than this, for instance that, it goes away. Can't keep it. Can't keep it. It's gotta go. It's got to go. I think all of these came out of here. And that one's going to the bigger size. I need one of those, you know how it's a coin bank. You drop all your coins in the top and then it sorts them into size. I need one of those for paper scraps. Yeah, I need to just drop all my paper scraps into something and then it'll sort them out by size. Yeah, that's too small. That's silly. So yeah, that's the rule. And I have a template when I don't have the boxes with me. Well, now I have all this left, but you know what? I have lids for those. So I can just seal it up and save it for next time. And it should not dry out. Fingers crossed on that. So I hope y'all enjoyed hanging out with me today, and I will see you on Friday for Friday Flip Through and a new series I'm starting. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Craft and joy, y'all. Bye.